Hey guys, it's May 5th and I wanted to update you on my garden. It's been a while. There's a lot going on now. I've got these potato plants are up. I've got anemones in front. We have our first flowers over there. See right there. And then over here, I've got my Texas early grano onions. Some of them are being shaded out by the potatoes. Oops. I gotta work on my spacing a little bit better, but here I've got some potatoes, and I have bok choys, and I've just been putting more seeds and planting them, and putting more seeds and planting. These are our red onions. Yeah. Over here in this corner, this bed didn't exist, right? I'll take a seat. I want to talk about this. We got right here, this is catnip now. I put the catnip here because Topi, Anna's cat, really likes to sleep over here in this corner and roll around. And then in this bed, I've put some strawberry plants, and they take some time to get established. So I decided to interplant lettuce with the strawberries, and we have some potato volunteers. That's fine, we'll dig them out this year and then we'll have strawberries after that. And then here we have some bare dirt where I sprinkled some seeds in yesterday, I think, or the day before, hoping that the cool weather will sprout them. We can usually get the lettuce to an eatable size, which is about this size, before bolting, even if it's hot. It's just the sprouting, it's tricky. It needs to be down to the 50s at night. So over here I have some ranunculus, and they're beautiful. And then I have nectarines. I have baby... Hey! Look what I found. I found a ladybug here. Hello, ladybug. Yeah. And then my nectarine tree is just completely covered in nectarines. Oh my gosh, we've never had this before. Normally the nectarines, this one at least, it blooms really early in the year, and then I think a lot of the blooms freeze and we don't get that much fruit. But this year it bloomed late. And in our apricot tree we have many apricots. We have many apricots. And this is our big tree. It's actually our younger tree. The tree over here, which is actually quite a bit bigger this year than it was last year. And it's also covered in apricots. Yeah, look at that. Oh my gosh. They probably won't get that big because there's a lot of them. But, you know, I dried a bunch of apricots last year and they were little, and I ate them during winter and they were amazing. So this bed didn't exist either, and it gets shade nearly all day long. So I've got my kohlrabies here. Well, I guess these are Anna's kohlrabies, really. I've got Swiss chard, and I've got perpetual spinach and kale. And over there, against the fence there, I have a little baby Riesling grape. And here I have some white onions and more white onions, and it was a row of cabbage. And then spring came, and it was really hot, and a bunch of plants suffered, so I pulled out some plants. We have some holes now. And all these broccolis over here, all the holes, those were all broccolis. And that baby plant right there, I replanted that one, but all the broccolis bolted. I don't know what happened. I think it was too cold in March, and then it got warm again. But you know, for every success there's a failure, or every failure there's a success, right? I was working on that today, so that's still there. So right here, though, I saw this on a YouTube video. You put your spinach underneath a tray like this, and that helps you get some spinach even when it's a little bit warmer than normal. So I actually have baby spinach now, which I never have baby spinach this time of year because I don't normally plant in the early March. Here we are with spinach. Amazing. And then my ranunculus, I got this package at Costco. It was 100 ranunculus. Well, they haven't quite bloomed yet. It'd be nice if they were blooming for this, but they're not. Whatever. It's fine. They'll bloom soon. Yeah. And then here I have sun gold tomatoes, and I have some beans. And the sun golds, they already have tomatoes on them. Let me see if I can find a good example. They have, but they don't just have one tomato. They have like, look at this. They have like a whole row of tomatoes. You know, I have watched many YouTube videos with tomatoes, and the people always have these huge rows where all the tomatoes are there, and I'm like, what? Mine never looked like that because they never all bloom. But this one, they did. We're gonna have an entire branch of tomatoes. That's unheard of. And behind it, there's peppers, and most of our baby peppers, they really suffered this year. It was very cold, especially in our house where we were growing them. And, well, I bought these plants and I put them in the ground because it was just too cold and they just suffered. And it was very exciting. Our gooseberries, they're making gooseberries. Oh, the screen went dark. Okay, there we go. We have baby gooseberries, and that's really cool too because these plants got really big last year. The year before, last year I put a whole bunch of chicken compost and wood chips, and man, they just grew and grew and grew. Here is some sorrel. Anna loves the sorrel. She comes out and it's going to seed, and I'm going to save the seeds and replant it for her next year. And our cherry tree. Like, this is our first cherry tree. We have 7 cherry trees outside the fence, but here we actually have like a lot of cherries going on. Like, I don't know what's going on this year. I don't know, maybe it's all the rain, or maybe it's just the age of the garden where they're making fruit. Everything's making fruit. This is my son's garden, and he's got his Brussels sprouts, and he's got some peas. And this is the little garden they made. This is a little update. The garden, you know, for their Hot Wheel cars. They have a little road right here that they made, and right here, and the parking garage, and the little drinking thing. Yeah. This is my son's garden too, but he didn't want to plant anything until it got warmer. So I planted, what is that? Cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, and another cabbage plant here, and some carrots, and more of his peas. He likes peas and carrots, so that works out. But yeah, those are his. This is his little garden, and this is his little apple tree. Yeah, he's gonna plant some more stuff here, for sure. And here's the blueberry bed, and it looks like, even though I dug everything up and I moved it during the winter, they're making blueberries. Look at that. Unbelievable. I tried to keep as much of the dirt with them as possible, so that's probably why. That's why we're blooming. And I've got strawberries going on. Very exciting. Right in front of the strawberries, or the blueberries, I put a row here of beets because, you know, I wanted to sneak in an extra crop. I didn't realize we'd have plenty of space because I've never had this much space in the garden before. This is my multi-apple, and it's the wrong color. I don't know what's going on here with this, but there it is. There are some apples. I'm going to get it some, my mom recommended a citrus blend, a fertilizer to, she thinks it's missing some sort of like copper or iron or something. I don't know, but that's what she thinks is going to solve the problem. So, and here are some main crop tomatoes. The bulk majority of my main crop tomatoes are on the other side. And I never show that to you guys because there's not really that much to look at. It's just a bunch of tomatoes. There's about, let's see, 12 plants over there, or 16 plants, I guess. But here I have Roma tomatoes, Roma tomatoes, Roma tomatoes, Roma tomatoes. And behind it, there are Homestead 24 tomatoes and garlic. So when I say main crop tomatoes, I mean they're not really for eating fresh, they're for processing. We're going to turn them into tomato sauce, salsa, you know. I don't really do anything other than that, but I might make barbecue sauce this year. Normally I do tomato sauce, and then I use that for pizza sauce also, and if I'm making like soup and I need tomatoes, I just put my tomato sauce in and everything like that. So along the front edge here, I've snuck in some more onions. You know, I just try to grow onions everywhere, and we don't usually have success, but we'll get to that later. Right here I have garlic and more volunteered potatoes. Like, come on, the potatoes, they're everywhere. They just really want to grow and take over the whole yard. But what I planted here are bush beans. These are provider bush beans. Those were the only ones that actually gave us beans for 5 years of growing beans. The only ones that have given us beans are providers, so that's why I'm growing them again. I got a giant packet at Johnny's. So over here I've got eggplants. These are Black Beauty eggplants. My eggplants that I started from seed, they all suffered, so I bought these too. And well, there's no shame in that. Sometimes you have to buy plants. And then behind it, I've got tomatillos, which I did start from seed, and they look pretty good. And more garlic, whole row of garlic. And these garlic are huge. And I think it must be because I gave them more space. Those guys are closer together over there. And then over here, we have a little bit of mess because I pulled up some flowers and I put them in the walkway to just mulch, I guess, just to compost them in place, and worms and all that jazz. Oh, look, we got a bee. Oh, never mind, no we don't. Just kidding. We have some chamomile growing here. And so what's cool about chamomile is, you know, it's relaxing, right? You can actually like take it off and like chew on it, right? Oh, and not only is it delicious like chamomile tea, it's relaxing. It's quite the flavor. It's very strong today. Okay. Well, these are snapdragons and another potato. Another potato. They're everywhere. I'm going to be growing my son's seedless watermelons in this bed soon. They've already sprouted. I'm going to have to clean this out, and we're going to grow seedless watermelon. That's really exciting because we've never done that before. More potatoes. So my son has kind of decided that since this is his garden bed here, he's going to have this be his garden bed too. And he planted a bunch of strawberries, and the potatoes are volunteers again, but I did plant them on purpose last year when I harvested. I just replanted the biggest ones, and after these are done, I'll clean it out, and then he'll have this entire space as his because he is becoming a very good grower these days. I'm gonna take a picture of that. Yeah, let's do that. And my grapevines, they're waking up. The grapes are always so impressive. We made wine last year. We ended up with 6 gallons of wine, which we've already drank. So we have the last bottle we're drinking probably tomorrow for Anna's birthday party. This is a, oh, and we did 36 quarts of grape juice, which is a lot. But we cut them back a lot this year, so it's possible we won't get as much this year. I don't know. We'll see. This is the Granny Smith apple. And as you can see, we do actually have apples going on this tree. There were a lot of blossoms. They were all around all of the leaves. It was amazing. And then over here, there's the Honey Crisp. I think that's what it's a Honey Crisp, yeah. Something like that. And we have some little baby apples here, but there's not that many. This one's a little slow to get established. And, well, I think that its leaves are kind of yellow too, and well, we're greening up down there, so that's good. I didn't see that before. Awesome. This is where I pulled out the flowers. I just wanted to be able to walk through here. So here's a cardboard box. Yeah, we were using that to cover plants when it was freezing. But I just saw, what is this? What is this? What is that? That's a caterpillar. What's interesting, I don't know if you can see, it's like in a spider web, but it's like eating the, wow. I'm gonna get my kids, I'm gonna show them that soon. So here is the asparagus bed that I established. It's brand new. This is its first year, and I stuck some little plants in here. I've got a couple of Roma tomatoes, and I sprinkled some carrot seeds, and you can see the asparagus is kind of ferning out, and yeah, everything according to plan. And I, you know, in the past few years, I've had a lot of a lot of sunflowers, and I just kind of let them take over. And this year, I'm not going to let them take over. So for that purpose, let's go ahead and like take this guy out and take this guy out, and yeah. We're going to let the ones in front of the bed grow because there's not really, we don't really need to do that much with this space. It's whatever. We have this is that Granny Smith apple again, and then we've got comfrey growing around the bottom, and calendula, and right there, that's a runner, the sucker off the roots. I gotta cut that off. So what's really cool is that we actually have cauliflower plants. They are big, they are beautiful. There's some holes in it, whatever, because we've got like some caterpillars and stuff, but that's organic gardening, right? But we are going to have a really nice sized cauliflower head because this is like a full-size plant, and that's really cool because we don't normally have full-size plants. And these are Anna's baby lunchbox peppers. Oh, this is Anna's bed, by the way. She loves the cauliflowers, and she's got peas, and she's got arugula and strawberries, and if you can see here, fennel, and they're bulbing up, and I've never had fennel bulbs in my garden before, so I guess I should call it our garden because it's really becoming their garden too. And this tomato, this is the one that she has to grow every year. It's a yellow pear tomato. This was a fun experiment. So you can tell I've got this ag fabric here and some hoops going over this bed. Give me a moment while I free it. I'll just use the rocks and stepping stones and stuff to cover it up to hold the things down. But I have these 2 jugs of cat litter, water. They were cat litter. And here I have zucchinis. This one's a yellow, and then that's a Ford hook over here. We've got some other stuff going on, but the star of the show is the zucchinis because it's May 5th and we have, I just picked them off, but because there's no pollinator flowers yet, but we have zucchinis coming on. Look at this. Look at this. Right here. It's a zucchini. And I pulled one off this plant this morning because there's no pollinators and it was blooming, and I'm like, well, you're not going to turn it into zucchini because there's no pollinators. But look, I have, and it's May 5th. It's crazy. And I have more bush beans, more cauliflowers, and they all look fantastic, and they're just thriving, and it's amazing. And these guys here, these are poppies. They are absolutely beautiful. I'll have to show you guys them. They're brilliant pink with purple centers. They're like this big, yeah. So very exciting garden bed over here. I hope you're not getting dizzy from me moving too fast. Here we have, along this fence line, we have a lot of blackberries going to town. It's very impressive. We're just gonna have so much fruit this year, and look at this. Sorry, I'm holding the phone with one hand. I'm gonna try and take a picture. There we go. Yeah. That's cool. That's very cool. So if you're wondering about the plastic jugs and the ag fabric, it's been in the 40s at night. We got down to 36 one night. So that's why I put some jugs. We've got some cardboard boxes. If you use cardboard boxes, you have to take them off in the morning. So that's why it's just like hanging out. Yeah. And this is my fun tomatoes. I have black crim, Cherokee purple. I have, that's black crim. Brandywine. I've got all the fun ones, all the fun ones. I don't know if I need to say anything else other than just all the fun ones. And then here's my golden raspberry who's doing so good. Hey, look, you can see me. Hi. And then there's my new red raspberry that's getting established. So I'll set up these cages soon. They're not quite there yet. And right here we have onions, and I planted them last September. Let me walk around here. I can show you. It's very exciting. They are actually bulbing up. And I don't know what sort of trickery this is, but they are bulbing up, and it's amazing. And these jalapenos, like I told you our peppers. They were struggling. So I bought these, and well, this one has a cover. I didn't have enough cover for all of them. So I figured, well, if I could cover one, that would be better than covering none. And I folded these over to try and urge them to finish faster because I need to plant more peppers here. So they need to hurry up. But look at these peppers. Look at these. Look at these. Look at these onions. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, look at these onions. They're like actual onions. And yeah. We already went over this garlic. Here, this is a peach tree. This will be the first full year it's been in the ground, and I have, wouldn't you know it, I have baby peaches. So let me show you how big the tree is so you can get some comparison there. Try not to put my neighbor's house in there because I'm sure that they don't want that. We'll just, check it out, check it out. That's how big it is after 1 year of growth. And then here's my other peach tree that I planted at the same time. In it, I don't know if you can see, but like, there's literally peaches all along this. And I'm tempted to thin it out and make bigger peaches. But on the other hand, I'm also kind of like 20, 30 baby peaches. Like kids, you know, they like to take one bite out of things and then they just like let the rest like go to waste. So maybe having 20 baby peaches is, oh, I pulled that one off because that one's thinned. That one's thinned. That one just came off. Maybe I don't need to worry about it. Maybe it's going to take care of itself. Yeah, I don't know. Here's my other asparagus bed. And this morning I planted some more onions along this edge here at 6-inch intervals. And well, that's very cool. Maybe we'll have some onions in some extra space. I have some bush beans here, and I have some carrots here. Carrots, bush beans, and, well, there were gonna be more. It was going to be a complete row, and then, can you see that hole? That was a baby bunny nest. There was a mama bunny who came in here, and my dog, she like dug the whole thing up, and the bunny dug it up, and well, they messed everything up. But I left them there, and I think they're gone now. So over here I have some lettuce interplanted with the asparagus. And you might be wondering what all this mess is, but right over there along the fence, right from about there to about there, was full of weeds. And I just pulled out all the weeds, and I just kind of like put them as mulch to feed the worms. So that's what all the green stuff is on top of the straw. All right, what's next? Oh, there's this huge peach tree here, and it's just defied expectations. Let me walk around here. Sorry, it's dizzy making and all that stuff. And I've got the irises in front, and wow. I'll take a picture there. And this peach tree has very nicely spaced, beautiful baby peaches all over it. And I believe this peach tree is now 5 years old. And it's, I don't know, like 10 feet tall or something? I don't know. I don't have a way of measuring, but very impressive. I think we're going to have a lot of fruit this year. I think we're going to have a lot of fruit. And that's really cool. I've got some chives here in this pot. I mean, I just dug them up from over there. I didn't know where to put them, so I stuck them in a pot, and, well, they're just jamming. Just jamming. Is that everything? Maybe it is. Well, I'm going to get you the full effect here. We'll just walk backwards and hope we don't trip on something. Yeah, sorry for the random mess things, but it's a working garden. It's a work in progress, you know? Well, thanks for coming along.